Well, all right, and welcome to another exciting edition of the PlanetGenX podcast. I'm your host, Sean, and that over there is Brian, and we're happy you're all here today. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, good deal. I'm doing fantastic, man. Thank you so much for asking. Before we get into it right away, man, let me start off by saying, please, guys, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, leave us a comment. We want to interact with you guys. We got, I think I said last week we're up to 27 subscribers. So that's a couple new. That's awesome. We really appreciate you guys joining in. Every little bit helps, man. We're glad that somebody's watching, and that's cool. So, yeah,
we really appreciate it. We are kind of in the crux of it where, we've got some numbers, and it's just a matter of, continuing to put out content, and the more interaction we have, will really help us.
Oh yeah, so no doubt, man. And as we build and come up with new ideas and stuff like that, hopefully we'll appeal to a broader audience. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys. And cool. Now we got that out of the way. We can get right down to it, man.
Let's do it.
Which is really the only thing happening this week that I saw
right.
anything about, man, was this thing with Unity shooting themselves in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Like a real couple of greedy assholes, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's the business model of today, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't have to be, man. There's ways that you can ease people into things, and, there's ways to do things.
Yeah.
And certainly by at least appearing to, and more than likely will alienate, independent developers. That's kind of your bread and butter.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're either offering something for everybody, or you're just pandering to your group that you support, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know they've walked back a couple of things or clarified a couple of things, but I mean, it's still, no matter what they've done, it's still right now as it stands crap.
Agreed. I mean, they did a big release of mea culpa, all this other stuff, but it's still a hot mess.
Yeah, and you can go. There's thousands of videos out there that go into details about what it is they've done, and people going through specifically the information they've put out. I just wanted to bring it up for the fact that, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I know that these companies have to survive, and I get that. I'm not against anybody making money. Yay, capitalism. I'm all for it. But as I said, there's ways to go about it, and they just slapped everybody in the face.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed that really kind of caught my attention when this was early on was the number of YouTubers that were putting up new videos who, I guess they're Unity guys and put up YouTube videos about Unity and whatever, but these guys are going to this, other program called Godot.
Right.
Which drives me crazy because it's spelled Godot. Godot.
Like the artist.
Godot.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we should clarify. If I'm not mistaken, the big deal was that they moved their pricing model to a per install basis, right?
Yeah, per new install. So it's not like just because there was talk about that, like somebody could, if they were pissed off at like an indie developer or something and wanted to really fuck them over, they could just keep uninstalling and reinstalling the game over and over again,
right?
And nickel and dime them to death. So no, you can't do that. But yeah, like and I don't know how it breaks down. I don't know if it's per device or per.
I mean, theoretically you could, right? You could spoof all that shit and.
Oh yeah, I mean, like if you really wanted to and take the time out, you could certainly fudge their numbers enough to where something would happen. I don't know,
Yeah.
Never underestimate the power of a computer nerd with his scripting skills and
yeah. I'm in the Matrix, right?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what this Godot is like. I tried to watch a little video. I've used Unity myself, um, but I'm no programmer. I didn't get deep into it, and I don't know if Godot is a one-to-one swap over. You know, I kind of doubt that, but I do know that there's like um, kits that help you convert your stuff over to Godot. So that's at least one place, you know, maybe you can look at going for some of you get, you know, kids out there just trying to fucking make a game, and we're all about the Unity, and now find out that, you know, it's not really conducive to them.
Not really where it's
that
at.
environment. Yeah. Time
Right.
to move on, man. That's a shame, man, because they built a really nice following, Unity.
They did. And it was all like grassroots, right? Like
Yeah.
there were obviously big time developers that got in on it, but a lot of these people were, you know, kind of like ground level, their own thing, getting into it.
This
when
is
Unity got
something
real
that
popular.
somebody like Blender could end up falling in the same kind of trap.
Yeah.
You know, you come up as open source. I don't know. Are they open source? I'm not sure. It might not be open source, but I mean, it's
recall.
just free. You know, you essentially can use just about everything in there for free. I don't know exactly what their licensing is, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, you know, you're thought of as like the people's app for that. It was making games, you know, and whatnot. But like for Blender, it'd be got anything media related, animation mainly, but it can do all kinds of things.
Well,
And
I mean,
they could end up falling into the same exact trap.
you brought up the whole people's app idea. I can throw you back to the people's champ from wrestling, right? Remember what happened there?
Yeah, he's big money movie making now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, the people's representation always, if it's popular enough, ends up making so much money that it ends up not being for the people after a while.
Right.
And that's why I bring up Blender, because I could see it falling into the exact same situation. Or any app that's been around in open source or you know, just some kind of freeware state where people use it all the time.
And I mean, generally what happens is, you know, a new version comes out, right? Somebody trying to do the same thing that they were doing.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to play by your rules, and they'll do their thing, and it'll start all over.
Yep. It's a
It's
vicious
the
cycle.
circle of life.
Yep. Sure is. Sure is. Well, man, in 4 days, as we record on the 22nd, Phantom Liberty comes out officially. I'm sure we were speculating whether they have pre-release or not. I'm sure there's some kind of pre-release. That's the thing to do nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pay extra money and you can play it 3 days to 5 days early or something like that.
Well, I mean, you know, you throw it up on Twitch or YouTube and you get paid off of that, right?
Yeah, man. Twitch. I don't know about Twitch, man.
Nobody's known about Twitch for a long time. I don't know. Yeah, I really didn't have a problem with, like, a lot of people had issues with Twitch of how the affiliates changed and how it wasn't like your average nerd guy, whatever, you know, the gamer that you're used to, and it was all these different people. I just don't like the cult of personality, man. It just seems like once you get affiliate or whatever, you're not a person anymore. You live your life, but you know, you're a brand.
Right. Well, so, and I mean, but they ended up trying to screw everybody too with the, you know, the monetary change, the percentages, and you know, I'm not down with that, man. You're building your monopoly off the backs of people. Let the people have most of that money.
Yep.
You know, halvesies is not good, and it's not halvesies, but it's damn close.
Oh, ads. This is something that wasn't on the note. Freaking ads. The rise of ads. More ads. You want to add, have an ad. Is it Prime? Prime is going to start adding ads.
Where you can just buy ads. Anybody can buy ads? Is that what
well, I guess. It's like right now when I watch something on Prime, I watch it. I don't know if it's like my pop blockers doing their job or whatever. But
Yeah.
if I go over to Hulu or something, Hulu has some of their ads baked in
Right.
to the media.
Yeah.
But apparently now Prime is going to start having more ads. I don't know how to say
Man,
that.
okay, so I can see a world where that's going to be a very popular thing if they were to allow just people to just put ads in their thing. Hey, watch my stupid TikTok. Please follow
That would
me.
be cool. But I don't know. It's just I've always hated that revenue stream. It's just nobody really wants to watch ads, right? Like maybe you're
You say
really
that.
into like cars and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
you see an ad for a car you really want, or like the Geico commercials if they're
Well,
funny or
see,
something
that's
like
the
that.
thing. Like, for the longest time, we didn't have ads on the stuff we were watching here at our house.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt disconnected from culture,
Right.
not having those modern ads to kind of see what the latest trends are. Because, I mean, you see that in your commercials. And like you say, the Geico commercials are very funny. That does influence culture on the outside. People start, parroting the stuff they see that's funny. Hey, did you see that latest Geico commercial? Huh?
Well, you
not
remember
today.
you remember the caveman, right? There was a
Right, dude.
whole like they tried to spin off into a series.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like
Um,
the Budweiser frogs and shit. I mean, and so I found myself missing ads, and so I'm quite happy to have ads in my stuff right now, especially if it
I
gets me a
hate it.
discount on what I'm paying or paying at all.
I just kind of feel like it's not that it's dishonest or anything like that. It's just
Okay.
it's a revenue stream that's always present, but it's super aggressive to the consumer, right? So you and I sitting here watching this, I mean, why do I want to watch ads when I'm trying to like suspend disbelief and like be transported to another realm or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Um, I just I hate it.
I don't even know how we got onto this because we were talking about Phantom Liberty.
We were,
Phantom Liberty is coming out in 4 days.
yeah,
And now I've seen some, and like you said, there's got to be somebody out there with a pre-release. And there must be because, Gamers Nexus and a bunch of other type YouTube sites like that have put out benchmarks already
right.
of the 2.0 patch.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's cool.
And it's a hog, right? Some of it's a hog.
Oh, man, there's like jokes about like melting your system or something like that. One of the guys
Yeah.
works at CD Projekt Red like put out a tweet, and it did scare people into thinking it was going to melt their systems because they're like, we're going to use every single thread you have.
Right, yeah.
And that's good. I'm glad. Thank God somebody's fucking doing it. Dude, Flight Simulator is, first of all, using DirectX 11. They have DirectX 12 in it. It's broke as fuck. It don't work right. So we don't get the benefits of anything past DLSS 2, which we can't
Right.
use in Flight Sim because it makes the gauges look like shite. But dude, I get like, if I'm lucky, so right now I'm getting about 38 frames, which in 30 frames in a simulator is fine. You don't have to have 60 and all that shit.
Yeah.
But like I was getting less than 30 until I tweaked some stuff last night and today. I'm up at 38 right now. But
Cool.
like if you look at my CPU, dude, it's doing jack shit. My
Right.
fucking GPU is just fucking going balls to the wall.
Yep.
And CPU's down there at like 7%. Just doo-doo-doo.
I'm
Dude,
just
so
keeping
much.
everything going.
And it's been this is my gripe, man. Do you want to know why Moore's law is dead? It's because nobody's writing code that takes advantage of the CPUs we've had for the last fucking 20 years, dude. I mean, like, we've had multiple, maybe not 20 years, but we've had multiple cores for a long time now.
I mean,
Certainly
not
we
quite
were
20,
doing
but
dual
damn
core,
near.
we're doing double processor motherboards, and I mean, like, it was becoming a thing, especially if you were doing animation, stuff like that. So multi-threading's been around a long time. I don't understand why they can't write this stuff to take advantage of it. Man, I mean, we've been in stuff that's had at least 4 cores or better for the better part of a decade now.
Yeah.
And we still have stuff that's running one single fucking thread through that thing.
Yeah, and I remember, back in the day when it was 2 and 4, a lot of it was just pointless, right?
Yeah.
It was there, but nothing was taking advantage of it back then.
Unless you were doing animation or you had a specific thing, like, if you were in media, you probably were using those cores. Hopefully.
Right.
We
Yeah.
hope. But that's about it, and maybe if you were lucky, some games. Maybe Doom was one of those. I think it was multi-threaded, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. Yeah.
It's just leaving fucking muscle on the table, man. Well, so, I mean, just why not, dude? A CPU, sure, it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Efficient grinding that stuff as the GPU is. But if it's doing nothing, why not fucking hand it off something?
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff. It seems like it could run another program that could be doing something to help the GPU or something, whatever it is, a virtual something.
Well, I
could be out there
imagine
doing something. I don't know. It's just
I imagine the deal is that anybody wanting to do that just hasn't figured out issues with like busing and sync as far as like what's going on in the GPU and how you're tying in whatever you're trying to do to the CPU and getting everything in sync.
I would give you that argument if this was 15 fucking years ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's want for it. You and I want stuff like that, but as far as the market's concerned, as far as the people in business making these things happen, they aren't interested in that. They just want the same old thing.
I mean, in some cases, I don't know. Here's the only other the one of the benefits of AI maybe that it'll force companies like Microsoft, whereas you didn't necessarily need multi-threading with Office, but with AI, perhaps it's actually a good idea. And just if you just write the code to appropriately take advantage of these CPUs, it seems like Windows and everything would just be so much more fluid to me. And maybe I'm just looking at it from a real fundamental point of view and simplistic, but I don't know.
I don't think you or I are really, I wouldn't say qualified, but deep enough into it to pontificate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking at it from the engineer level,
Right.
I don't know what the pitfalls are and
Me neither.
all that jazz, but I don't know. But Phantom Liberty is supposed to really take advantage of everything you got. So I'll be interested to see, man. For sure.
I'm kind of scared because I'm on a 1080.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's going to be enough to really shine.
Well, I mean, yeah, to shine for sure it could be a problem, but you'll certainly be able to play the game.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. You just might not get all the pretties.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the question. I know Idris isn't going to be looking like a Minecraft character, but...
Well, here's the thing. If they're multi-threading, I would think you would have the advantage in this version of Cyberpunk versus the original. So maybe you'll actually fare better.
Maybe.
And let's not even say that's with Phantom Liberty. Let's just say you just patched your version to 2.0.
Right.
I wonder. It would be interesting to see. You should bench yours before and then bench it after and see what happens, like with same exact settings.
That's what I was thinking about doing, is doing a bench. Well, I've probably already... No, I haven't launched Steam, so... Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah, that would be interesting to note.
Bench it with the update, but not the DLC.
Yeah. Yeah, just like a 1-to-1, just one's updated, one's not, and see if there's just like the performance improvements or not.
Yeah.
That would be a cool little report. You can report back next week.
I'll see what I can do.
Might have to give them 2 weeks, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things don't happen quick here.
But yeah, it sounds to be pretty interesting. I can't wait. I got to figure out how I'm gonna play this because I actually have my version of my full version of Cyberpunk's on the Xbox. and I want to use a PC version now of Liberty, Phantom Liberty. So I'm in a quandary of what to do.
Well, supposedly it's really cool that this update is supposed to integrate a lot of things that were modded in.
Yeah.
Stuff to do with like your cyberdeck and whatnot.
Yeah. It'll all be really cool, man. I can't wait to see it.
Will be cool.
Do you remember back when Windows, what is it? Windows 7, I guess. Yeah, it was when Windows 7 came out. Like they would do Xbox games that you could play both on your PC and in your Xbox. That's what I wish my damn Cyberpunk would do right now. That would be so fucking cool.
Agreed.
I think you should be allowed to do that, man. Like,
yeah.
Let me like if all I gotta do, well, I don't know, if I had an optical drive, it could just read it and say, yeah, okay, he owns the fucking disc, so let him go. That would be so cool.
I agree, but we're not making decisions.
Yeah. I'd be like, can I trade this in for a PC license, please? Otherwise, I would have pre-ordered. I haven't pre-ordered Phantom Liberty. I thought about it, but yeah. So I'm like, yeah, if I do that, then I gotta buy it. So I have to look at other options.
I'm in this weird area where I don't know if I'm gonna just wait and have like a total blackout until I want the DLC, or if I'm just gonna watch somebody else play it.
Dude, I don't know how you can stop yourself from not wanting it from the get-go, especially since you've played the game through. I haven't even played the game through, so I could start over again.
It's not about one; it's about money, baby.
No.
If I had the money,
court.
You're damn sure I'd be doing it.
But yeah, so looking forward to that. Can't wait. And I'm sure let's see. I don't know if I'll get to play it before the next podcast. I hope I do. If so, I will have a full report of my feelings on it.
Get that update for us.
Yeah.
So how's Starfield going?
Yeah, I do have feelings on Starfield. So, I mean, it's going pretty good. I don't find the rabid need to go play it. And I'm sure many people do. I know Jay is loving it. I texted back and forth with him just for a little bit the other day. Last night, maybe.
Right.
And he's enjoying it. I enjoy it fine when I'm in there, and I'm getting along fine. I want to say I'm level 12 or something like that. I might be 13 now. But, yeah, I told you last time I got the Manus armor and the ship and stuff. I hadn't had any grand pulls like that where I've gotten anything that big. But, I'm just moving along through it. I don't find it particularly hard, the game. I don't know. I don't have it on easy or anything like that.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Reddit for it, and people are making like somebody made like a big rig spaceship.
Yeah.
Somebody made a burger spaceship, like a hamburger.
Right. And I saw a Voyager. No, it was rough, but yeah, the USS Voyager.
So people are having fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a game you can have fun in, no doubt about it. I hope in these future updates, they clean up a lot of their code and polish it up a bit. If they give it the love that CD Projekt Red has given Cyberpunk, then it will be a great game, a fantastical game in a year or so. But I don't know if it has that many legs, dude. It's all about how they treat it with DLC. And whether or not it gets multiplayer or not. I think multiplayer could open it up to a whole new world.
Right.
Just depends on how that multiplayer is implemented.
It's generally true of most franchises, but we are kind of in the single player year, right?
Like, yeah. I don't mind single player. It just seemed like that lost by not having a multiplayer, especially with the Star Citizens and No Man's Skies out there of the world.
Well, I mean, I haven't played it, so I can't give an opinion of how it exists. But there is this big push for a lot of us. I'm a single player guy. Like I love single player because I want to escape. I want to go to that world. I want to spend however long I want in there.
Yeah.
And not have some tween come in and
Yeah.
and mess up my gameplay experience just by being an a-hole.
Right. Now I can totally dig that. And I've been fortunate that I have not had to experience any of that. I've never played Xbox live with people like that. I'm like you. I used to do a lot of, if it didn't have, they would come out, like Tribes came out, it was a multiplayer only game. That would have, if it had not been the situation we had the little, internet cafe deal going, that would have probably fallen on its face for me. But we had
Same.
the camaraderie of that group there to where it made it fun. But
And that was kind of one of the things, though, like LAN parties, your crew, stuff like that. That's what makes those multiplayers.
Yeah.
When you can't hit, the biggest problem is getting everybody on a schedule, right?
that is,
Like,
dude, yeah, that's
so
a huge pain in the ass. Mainly
you're always hugging
RPGs. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So what else you got for Starfield?
well, let's see. I did try and start down the path of modding. I think, I put a mod in there that would keep the achievements going if I was modding, and that's about as far. I think I put the DLSS mod in there, but whatever button I got to hit is not working, so I haven't actually. I'm not sure I've invoked it yet.
Right.
And I don't really
Continue
care that much.
achievements after modding is a big deal, though.
Yeah, it seemed important to me, so I thought I might throw that one on there just so I didn't forget, because I did hit the tilde just to see if a console will pop up one day, and it did, and as soon as I did that, it said, you will lose achievements if you start putting in certain commands and stuff. I'm like, okay.
Yep. I mean, it's a Bethesda game. If you hit tilde and a command prompt doesn't come up, something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that just goes back to the days before I can, back to the Doom and Quake days, the old tilde console. I wonder if the creation engine's built on stuff like the roots of those old engines.
I imagine it's at least related, right?
It must be to still be using that, or it's just become a convention because of that.
Yeah.
That they use nowadays. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Is not a huge level of excitement for me. Like I said, I'm just not chomping at the bit to go play like some games. Like I'm really really ready to play some Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So I think kind of the newness is, and I hadn't got that far in the game. Honestly, it didn't seem. I mean, I don't have the hours compared to some people.
Yeah.
But it just seems like, and of course, I have heavy ADHD, so I get bored easy. And who's to say that I might not start playing swappy swap with it until I get my hard drive space resolved between it and Starfield. I don't know. I do have the Xbox too. I can just load Starfield on that and play it and still have all three of them going at the same time. Flight Simulator is the third.
Flight Simulator, Cyberpunk, and
Yeah,
Starfield. For
those
those
keeping score.
that are not initiated. Those who do not speak Sean.
That's right. That's right. So that's about all I got in the way of Starfield stuff.
Well, I don't have a great segue for this, but we have been doing a reaction videos for Ahsoka, which you can catch a link wherever he's going to.
It'll be on over your left shoulder, probably.
Which left? I'm reversed. This left.
Yeah.
So somewhere over here, we'll get a link for that hopefully. But David Tennant, we talked about him a little bit today, and I started watching something that was one of my favorite things he did, which was the first season of Jessica Jones. That was one of those pre-Avengers Marvel things, or I don't. Was it fully pre? It might have been like around the time of the first one, right?
It's yeah, it might have been around the time of Iron Man stuff being out. Yeah, it would have to be because there wouldn't have been any interest in having that kind of stuff on TV yet. This would have been after at least a year of Marvel stuff starting to kick up, maybe 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still fully enjoying this. Now, I remember like season 2 got kind of weird and it didn't really end great for me necessarily, but that first season just really grabbed me. Kilgrave was a great character. I think a lot of the stuff that they put into it was great, but it's for me it fits into the pre-Marvel stuff because when I think of that, I think about stuff like Blade.
Yeah.
Also, great movie.
Yeah, we should have another new movie, or did it fall through? I heard something about it. I don't know if it's getting made now. They were making a new Blade, but it may have fell through.
I don't know, man.
Check your internet, kids.
But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel like everything Avengers related changed the way that they did everything. Right? It's all tied in. It's all like this world, that world.
It got crazy, man. It went from being kind of a normal, like if you grew up with comic books, then you could kind of keep up with here's a movie. Oh, now this movie's tied in with this movie. You only had 2 or 3 ties. Now it's just a ball of fuckworms, man. I mean, it is crazy.
Here's my question for you. You've been over superhero movies for a long time.
I have a moratorium on superhero stuff. With the exception being that thing that John Cena did.
Peacemaker.
Very good.
Good.
It was
I
very fucking good.
Did you watch Logan?
No.
I thought that was great. Of course, James Mangold. I don't know that I've ever seen anything of his that I didn't like.
Yeah.
But it also touched on kind of like an era of X-Men comics that was dear to me.
Right.
So that's kind of like one of the few exceptions. But obviously X-Men missed the spot for me as well, the pre-Marvel or pre-Avengers X-Men. But part of that was I had a big issue with Hugh Jackman just being this tall dude, right?
Yeah, Wolverine was kind of small guy.
Right.
Small in stature.
Yeah, and so I'm a purist in that form as another character that I grew up with. But that said, Logan kicked ass, man. And I mean, he always delivered as Wolverine. But
yeah, he is Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine anybody else being Wolverine.
I just kind of feel like the sensibilities around like sci-fi and fiction and all the stuff in our media these days, like everything has been like, here's the formula, right? Here's the formula, follow it, pump it out, and we'll make our money. Yeah. Whereas beforehand, it was like, hey, nobody wants to make my movie. I want to take this no-name, fro-y, vampire hunter, half vampire, comic book, and I want to make it live action. So we're going to get Wesley Snipes to do it. and I mean, that was great. It was wonderful, and it was fun.
It was
right?
one of the first successful Marvel movies.
Yeah.
If not the first. I think it is
I'm
the
trying
first.
to think. It may have been.
Not the first movie, guys. We're talking about the first successful movie that Marvel did. I believe it is, because it was pre-X-Men.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just had a little rant about that because I am loving, the first season of Jessica Jones.
I've never seen it.
You should.
I don't even know if I knew David Tennant was in it. Now that you said it, I kind of remembered a little bit. But that might have been the time when we didn't really have TV. Like, we had an antenna for a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a brief period of time there. We're making a transition.
I feel like you should watch it. Like I said, the first season, it's not super encapsulated, but it's pretty well encapsulated. Well, and you can watch that and be like, that was awesome.
Is Tennant in it a good bit or so-ish?
He doesn't show up until like not halfway through, but a few episodes in, like a number of episodes in.
Yeah.
But once he shows up, he's one of the main characters.
All right. I'm just trying to see if I sell it to my wife or not, whether I watch it. I mean, I still got that moratorium on this superhero thing, but David Tennant might be all right.
Yeah, it's David Tennant, and it's also it lines up with the Defender shit, which I'm not a huge fan of. There's a whole lot of the whole like New York Hell's Kitchen scene that they
Like
did.
Daredevil.
Yeah, that I wasn't a huge
Yeah,
fan
I don't
of.
know nothing about those Daredevil movies. I've never seen them. I
Right.
never cared for him as a Marvel character either.
Yeah, and so
Douche.
it touches on some stuff that I'm like, meh, but uh, I think the first season of Jessica Jones, watch it. It's good. You'll like it, I think.
I used to
And
think
just
for the
leave it.
longest time it was like a chick flip movie, like Bridget Jones' Diary or something.
Well, it definitely has strong feminist undercurrents. I can't really get any details without spoiling anything. But if you're into, I don't know, like private eye stuff, like mindfuck stuff, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
you might be into it.
Yeah, I could be down. I know my wife would. That would be the kind of thing she would watch. This would have
Yeah.
been something we might have watched back when it came out.
I think it's one of those things that speaks to people with trauma.
Do you know she may have actually seen this because I remember her going through some stuff. She went through like the Marvel TV stuff on Netflix before they dumped it all.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah, before they did they lost the rights to it and all that shit.
Yep.
When everybody started getting their own streaming service, is what I
Yep.
told everybody back in the day when um, the CBS All Access was first coming out, and there was only a handful of streaming. So it was just like Hulu and Netflix, and maybe a couple others.
This was before Paramount.
This was before anybody. Like CBS was
a
going
whole
to be the
bunch of
next
it.
big one, and
Right.
I remember people saying, "Oh, it's just a couple dollars a month." I said, "Yeah," and then you got to
Right
get the
now.
next because these guys are going to do it. Then somebody else is going to have their own service. Then the next person, and before you know it, we've got 6 or 7 services, and we're paying as much as we were for this shit as we were for cable TV. The point
Right.
is to save money and still get entertained.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and here we are with 1,000 streaming services. Everybody's paying, getting nickel and dimed. I think I pay like Breadbox, which is one of my favorites. It's not very expensive, but it's like $7.
Yeah.
And you got Hulu, which I think is like $13 or $14. Plus, I got Disney
like that.
piggybacking off of Hulu through its fucking backdoor shit. And then Max, I got on that freebie deal when AT&T bought. I don't know how we're still getting Max for free because we got the freebie deal off AT&T, and we're still leeching off that teat.
Yep.
Till it goes.
What are you watching? What are you watching on HBO right now?
Oh, nothing now. It's been a while. When we first got that, we wore that out. Max was good when it was HBO Max. When it first came out, it was really good. It had some good stuff in it. But once you got through it all, it wasn't. I mean, like I'm talking about like the deep cut stuff, like when you go through the movie section. Once you go through all the movies in a section, it very rarely gets updated.
Yep.
Horror specifically, horror really suffers.
It only gets updated and takes stuff away, right?
Right. Yeah, they take stuff away, and then once in a blue moon you'll get something new. But most of the new stuff is a different genre than what you're looking for. Like I said, horror and sci-fi seem to suffer the most by getting updated. But then you get your favorites, you get your cult favorites, and they know those are the ones people want to watch. And then you got to worry about who's got rights to what.
I gotta find out if anybody's got rights to The Thing, man. I definitely want to watch that sometime in October.
Oh, it's on Tubi, I think. Both of them, the remake and the original, the original, the remake, and the remake. There's 3 fucking versions of it.
Yeah. One thing, I did finish Justified City Primeval.
Did you?
I did, and I know why you don't like it. It's because it's a flaming pile of shit.
It is.
And I say that because it's all about star power. This is one of those not few times, but it's not a lot, where I didn't like seeing Keith David because I knew he was gonna friggin' die. As soon as I saw him, I was like, they can afford him. So I hate having that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the show was just gonna be like a little mini series or something like that, but they went on did a whole season. But Man, like I said, dude, it was not a Raylan Givens vehicle, and it shows.
Right. Well, I mean, it missed a lot of the stuff that I did finish the original before I started it,
Okay.
so it missed out on a lot. I think I mentioned like the first season was the best of it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what it drove into, how it made you think, and all this other stuff. But even as the seasons continued, continuity stuff that
Oh
like
yeah.
that there was one scene where Boyd killed a pig out in the wild, and they took the time to do makeup on his hands
Right.
to show that he had gutted the pig. They
Yeah.
didn't have to do that. Some people wouldn't have paid attention to that.
Yeah.
But there was somebody there that was like, well, let's put some makeup on his hands, dude.
Attention to detail.
And yeah, that's one of the reasons that it worked after the first season. And I really didn't feel a lot of that in City Primeval.
Well, that dynamic between Boyd and Raylan is,
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't replace that with this guy. This guy that they've got in this thing is just, he's just reminds me of, oh, what's that guy that played the Joker? Jared Leto. It's like Jared Leto's Joker. That's what
Yeah.
it reminds me of. Any
I feel
stick
it.
any skinny, scrawny, fucking, dude, handsome dude in there, and give him like a badass attitude, and that's the character we've seen in a ton of movies and TV shows.
Honestly, I feel kind of bad for Walter Goggins, man.
Why is that?
He he was relatively unknown, right? When Justified first came
I
out.
mean, for the most part, I had seen him in a lot of stuff. I mean, like he was in the Devil. I mean, not the Devil. House of a Thousand Corpses. I've seen him in different stuff over the
Who was
years.
he in House?
He was one of the cops. He got
Okay,
his head blowed off on his knees.
gotcha.
He was that long pan out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Well, it's just you know the Boyd Crowder character. There was just so much to the character. It was such a good character. He portrayed him so well. It seems like it would be a really really hard high to come down from.
Yeah, and I mean, just missed opportunity, man. They could have done anything but this City Primeval shit.
Yeah.
Just because it has that dude's name on it does not mean it's appropriate fucking venue for Raylan's character.
Right.
They have all that shit that he was alive, that he helped give ideas to. I just don't know why they didn't. I don't know. They should have just gone on with something familiar. Whether
Well,
it's
and it
Quentin
also
Co. or something like that.
right. Yeah. Well, it also kind of felt like they shoehorned Walter Goggins in, right? Like, I guess you didn't finish it. Spoiler alert.
Oh, was he in there?
Yeah, the very fucking end.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The very last scene, you cut to like him in prison talking to somebody, and they do a thing with that. But that's the only time you ever see him.
Well,
And
so wait, is that a teaser for a season 2, perhaps?
I think it's supposed to be a teaser that something else may happen, but I doubt it will.
Okay, so if they pull Boyd back out, then maybe there's something to watch there.
I don't know. I kind of
See?
felt like he lost a step with the character.
It could be. I mean, it could be completely fucked, and it doesn't matter. Like I said, this could be suffering from the same thing Deadwood did, where the actor has just lost the character.
Right.
I don't know why. I seriously doubt that Timothy Oliphant went back and watched any old Deadwood, to get back into his character. I really seriously doubt that. Why he wouldn't, I have no idea. I would have, but that's just me. I don't know how many actors would do that. They don't like, a lot of them don't like watching themselves, or they say they don't. I would have had to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it could just also be that his entire process has changed since then, right?
Could be, but I don't know. He's had 2 great shows. No, 3 great shows.
I was gonna
Santa
say.
Clarita Diet Dude is. I'm so pissed that does not get another season. I would love to see another season of that. That's a
And that was
hilarious show.
a totally different take, in my opinion, for him,
Oh,
right?
for him, yeah, to do comedy, and he's really good at it. He's very
Yeah.
good. He's just a damn good actor. But
Well, it's weird because you don't see it that often, right? Because he's more from a dramatic background.
yeah,
And what you usually see is people from comedy do really well in drama because of timing and improv and all this
right.
other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he was able to flip that, in my opinion.
Well, I've seen enough of the behind the scenes during Deadwood to know that he's a character, man.
Right.
Yeah, so I imagine it was nothing for him to be a funny guy.
Yeah.
To slide into that role. But well,
that's all I got,
City
man.
Primevil sucks dick. Don't go and watch it. You can go and watch 2 episodes and you'll know. That's all it takes. You'll know in the first, really.
Yeah.
If you're a hardcore Justified fan, you'll know very quickly.
One thing I forgot to mention, going back to Jessica Jones, and I will shut up. People that were in it, Erin Moriarty, now in The Boys, Starlight, and Menifee, I can't remember her first name, the redheaded lady that is, I can't remember, I think she's like PR head for V, or not V, whatever it is. She's the one that was pulling out her hair in the last season, and I think eating it maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about.
They were both in it, and there were just like a bunch of people in it that were like, "Wow, I forgot they were in that." So, anyway, I'll shut up now.
Jessica Jones, go check it out somewhere. I don't know
Sean,
who has that stuff.
If you'll bring it home for us, my man.
I will. Thank you guys so much for joining us, man. We appreciate you staying. This was kind of a all over the road. Like we had topics, but I felt like we got on to completely other topics. It's going to be interesting to see how I end up doing the chapters in this. I have a feeling I'm just going to put like 3 chapter points, like beginning, middle, and end, and you just kind of find your way in there. Because it was wild. The good topics to talk about. It just wasn't the topics we were talking about at the time.
Well, we also came in with like 1 show note, right?
Yeah. Well, it started out as 1, then grew to like we got 4 there. Yeah. And then he threw in the City Primevil stuff. So that was a 5th bonus. You got bonus with us today, guys. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Excla. So as always, guys, we appreciate you being here. We'll see you next week. Be excellent to each other, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Thanks so much.